Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Mose Stovall Show. I'm your host, Mose Stovall. Welcome and come on in. I hope you guys had a great week, and we're getting ready for another great week. Thanksgiving is next week, time of Thanksgiving, family and friends. So I've got a great show lined up for you tonight. Sit back, relax, and get ready. The Mose Stovall Show is on. I'll be right back after these words from our sponsors. It's Vision 3 LLC, doing good for the entire neighborhood. DJs, venue assistants, fit training, life coaches, event planning. It's Vision 3, an information service for our community. To contact us, email us at vision3llc@yahoo.com.
Household Remodeling and Ironworks is licensed and bonded. For all your residential and commercial needs, Household Remodeling and Ironworks specialize in wrought iron burglar doors and windows, custom wrought iron estate doors, custom built handrails and gates, lawn service, trailer gates, and heating and air conditioning protected cages for home, businesses, and churches. Call Household Remodeling and Ironworks today at 205-206-9878. That's 205-206-9878 to get your free estimate today. Locally owned and operated, look for Household Remodeling and Ironworks on Facebook.
If you need entertainment for a concert, corporate event, or private gathering, contact King's Entertainment Booking Agency, 205-705-4050. If you need a singer, if you need a live band, if you need a DJ, or if you need a host or MC, King's Entertainment Booking Agency has you covered with Lattimore, Wilson Manos, Mose Stovall, Mel Hollywood, Nathaniel Kimball, Certified Slim, T. Saunders, Bill Avery, the legendary Willie Mack, Stephanie Pickett, Taboo, Lady Trucker, MB Rapper, and host, MC, and DJ Ed Ramsey. If you need a singer, a band, a DJ, and MC, King's Entertainment Booking Agency with the best entertainment for corporate events, concerts, or private gatherings. King's Entertainment Booking Agents, 205-705-4050. When you want the best entertainment for your corporate event, concert, or private gathering, contact King's Entertainment Booking Agency, 205-705-4050.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm your host, Mose Stovall, and I told you I had a very nice and exciting guest today, none other than Mr. Certified himself. I'm going to let him introduce himself to you and tell you a little bit about himself and where he's from. What's up, Sam?
What's up, family? How you doing, man?
World, man? How you
Good,
feeling,
man.
bro?
Good, man. Good. I'm Certified Slim. My man Mose invited me in. We passing through Birmingham right now, you know?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So you in Birmingham on a little business?
Yeah, you already know.
Yes, sir. This dude's always on some business, y'all, and that's what I like about him. Brother always grind, and he sings and writes and does all that stuff, and we'll get into that. But brother's always on the move, doing some things, man, and ain't waiting on nobody to make no moves for me. And that's always a great thing, Slim.
You already know, bro.
You know what I'm saying? When you ain't sitting around waiting on the world, because the world ain't gonna bring it to you.
Ain't nothing.
Matter of fact, they gonna hate you out, man. Tell them a little bit about where you from. Give them a little background on you, man.
Oh, man. I was born in Indianapolis, Indiana. Grew up in D.C., you know what I mean? Grew up in the go-go scene. Go-go music's a lot different than Southern Soul, but I ended up getting caught up with Tyrone Davis, and then I started messing with Floyd Taylor as his drummer. Mm-hmm. And then, ran into Mel, got hit with Mel, and we started kicking. And, he adopted me as his god nephew, and then my god uncle. We've been cutting music until he died. We worked, you know what I mean?
Right. How long were you working with Tyrone, man, and how did that even come about?
Oh, man, listen. Anthony Grady, he used to play with the Staple Singers. You know him?
Yeah.
That's another one of my god uncles. He's been knowing me since I was like 20.
Okay.
Early 20s.
Okay.
He called me and told me to hit Hollywood. That's up in Chicago. Like, hey man, I got a hit for you. So when James Knowles, which is his original drummer, would go out to play with R. Kelly,
right,
they needed a backup drummer. So that's how I got hip to. That's how I got the plug.
So you drummer, man, by heart. That's where you get your musicianship from.
Yes.
Drums.
Yes.
What made you pick up the mic, man, and start writing songs? And was it just from being around these cats, or what brought about the writing that you do, man?
Well,
life.
The life, the writing. I ended up when I went out with Floyd one time. I didn't realize how popular the music style was, the genre was.
The Southern Soul genre?
Right.
Blues genre?
Yeah, I didn't realize when I got out there and seen 14,000, 15,000 people showing up at the festival, some 40,000, I was just scratching my head like, okay, I've been missing this the whole time.
Right.
So I jumped on in there and fell in love with it, man.
Now, is that because you were, in an area like up north, north of the Mason-Dixon, Southern Soul still hadn't caught on. I just talked to a lady this weekend in Cincinnati and said they didn't really know much about Southern Soul, man.
Well, Southern Soul is a little bit more grittier, but they have something called Northern Soul, which kind
I know about.
of mirrors, you know. It's kind of hard to explain, but you know, it kind of flavors. You know, the flavor is the same.
Right.
It just has a little bit more orchestration in the Northern Soul versus the the Southern Soul, but still the same thing, same progressions. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when man Show and Tell.
Right.
Same bass line.
Wilson, yeah.
Yeah. So
now tell me something. You said you worked with Floyd Taylor. How did that come about?
Hollywood. When they didn't have, you know, Need for Me, Hollywood told me to call Floyd, Johnny Taylor's son.
Yeah.
That's how I got the hit.
How long did you work with Floyd?
Man, I was with Floyd at least for about 18 months.
18 months. What kind of experience was that?
Woo! Floyd's a good guy, man. God rest his soul.
Right.
He was a drill sergeant for sure.
Oh, man, you ain't lying about that, bro.
Yeah.
Brother was on one, you know.
Yeah.
His last gig was up in North Alabama.
Oh,
believe it
really?
or not, and he played with my band.
Really?
He actually leased my band out. He came down, had rehearsals with him for a week.
Yeah.
And they were all shell shockers the way he acted. You know, like you say, he was a drill sergeant, and they kept words with me, and I told him how to handle him because I'd done a bunch of shows with him. Wasn't in his band, but you know, we'd be on the same stages. And the brother had nights where he would just do him.
Yeah.
He cussed the band out, do whatever he wanted to do.
would, yeah.
So I kind of gave the band some waters to tread on. But they told me, man, that night, he was the nicest he had ever been, man.
Yeah.
During the whole rehearsal time, I got some guys that can really lick, but they said he was just a totally different beast that night. He sang his butt off, and he wasn't such a drill sergeant. He kind of let them just do their thing, man.
Yeah. Every now and then you would catch a glimpse of the nice Floyd.
Right.
The majority of the time, Floyd was 110.
Right. Now, that reminds me of a couple other brothers, man, that does Southern Soul. You know, I love Sir Charles and a bunch of them, man. You know, you can catch them on their own night, catch them on their off night.
Yeah.
How many other cats in Southern Soul have you worked with on the blues genre?
Man, you know, some of them aren't big names. You know, like myself, I consider myself I would like to be a top tier artist, but I consider myself a B-level artist. But most of the guys are on that level. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know, I did some work with Calvin Taylor. We didn't quite get it off the ground, but we did a little work together.
Right.
Carl Marshall. Remember Carl Marshall?
You know, little Carl, yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
Carl Marshall. Jesse Terrell.
Out of Chicago.
Little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy out of Dallas, out of Fort Worth.
Yeah. So I had quite a few of them. You know, I mean, even me and Aville Hollywood, we had a tune back in 2011 together called "Beat It Up." I don't know if you remember that.
I know the song. Yeah. That's another drummer, Vale Hollywood. A lot of people don't know that this brother played drums or wasn't singing at all, and did some stuff. He played with Tyrone, didn't he?
No, I don't think he played with Tyrone. Bro.
He played with one of the big acts. Is where he came from.
I think he played with Donnie Ray.
Donnie Ray. Okay, Donnie Ray, bad brother. Donnie
Also
Ray
did some work with him too. That's him on the guitar on that song "You've Been Cheating."
I was about to say that Donnie Ray, man. He's on guitar on my new song that was produced by Beat Flow.
Okay, all right.
I got a thing for you, and Donnie Ray is playing the lead guitar on that
Already.
thing, man. Now Mel Waiters, man. Let's talk a little bit about that, man.
Yeah.
How did working with Mel come about, and how long did you work with Mel? Because I know you were still with him.
Man, all the way from 2000 and we started like in 2007, 2008, courting a relationship when I was back in Indiana at the time, and we were sending music files back and forth.
Correct.
And he was teasing me because I had an old M Audio interface.
Right.
So what he did was, he was on the road on the Blues Is Alright tour and called me and said, "Nephew, go to the Guitar Center." So I go to the Guitar Center. He didn't tell me what he was doing, but I went to the Guitar Center and he bought me this thing called a Digi 03.
Right, sir. Yes, sir.
Sound interface, Pro Tools. Changed my game forever. Yeah, I still got that thing too. I hold on. It's like an heirloom, so I hold on.
Which is outdated now.
Yeah.
Because you can do some stuff, man, on these phones now,
Boy,
man,
tell me
and
about
really
it.
make it happen. So you worked with Mel for what period of time?
It's about almost 10 years.
10 years.
Almost 10 years. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Like when you listen to songs like Christmas at the Hole in the Wall.
Right.
Me. You know what I mean? I also did, matter of fact, you know what? The first stuff that they did, that Lomax had.
Right.
When Lomax was with Mel.
Right.
I did the engineering, the mixing on that, put it all up in there.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know how, the final process went because at that time Mel started getting sick.
Correct.
But I do know that I had did that, and there was another he had that was bad. I can't even mention that song, but it was a beast.
Right.
I don't think he ever actually put that one out. But,
Okay.
yeah. But I
I'm
did all
sure
of it.
Mel
I had
had some
the whole project in my computer working all of the details
Right.
out.
Well, I'm sure Mel had material that was unreleased because the brother left here way before it was time.
Way
man.
before it was time.
Kind of shocked the world because he kept his illness, private, and which is I think is your business. If that's what you want to do.
Already.
It's your prerogative. But the brother made his mark while he was here, and I know you had a stamp on it, man.
Already.
What are you working on right now for you, man?
Man, I've been courting the ideal of, not really flipping the script but kind of getting involved with more what's current.
Right.
Although I've been trying to keep, the tradition and do what I came in doing with a little bit of flavor. I think it's time, for me to change and get with the times and, bring it up to a notch or two. You know what I mean?
Right. So. And when you say bring it up a notch or two, you still talking about the same genre of music, but what do you tell people what you mean by bringing up a notch or two? More dance tunes, more slow tunes?
Yeah, more dance tunes. Actually, I don't know if they know much about this in the listener world, but there are certain patches that we use to create sounds in the studio.
Right.
And I've been sticking to the traditional sound, trying to get that live band feel. So I'm gonna flip it and get more on the digital sound.
Okay.
Still add a little certified to it, but keeping the same tradition as far as the grooves. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
What inspires Certified to write songs? What inspires you to do this music, man?
Man, to be honest with you, funny stuff. Stuff that happened that might be even taboo to talk about at the time.
Right.
While you with your side piece out with your wife.
How did that song come about while we talking about it?
Man, well, I was sitting in my studio. At that time, this time I was living in San Antonio. This is before COVID.
Okay.
I'm sitting in the studio, and I came up with the hook, but it was for a song that was faster.
Okay.
When I was working in the oil field in Oklahoma.
Right.
Well, when I got to San Antonio, I was just sitting in my studio, and all of a sudden I played this track that me and Avail had played with around the same time we did Beat It Up.
Right.
Which is the track that you hear. And I just started singing, while you was with your side piece, I was with your woman. And man, I went home and prayed about it.
So you
and literally wrote that song in an hour.
I can believe it.
Didn't even have a storyline, by the way.
Hits are written like that. And a lot of people will think that it's an experience when you write these songs. And I like to tell people that songs can be written from just thoughts and prayer. You prayed about it and you came up with it, and that's what it's all about, man. Look, I'm gonna have to take a break, man, and let the people go ahead and do some things they need to do around the house real quick, because we live on TV. I got my man Certified Slim hanging out with me, y'all. Y'all sit tight. I'll be right back after these words from our sponsors.
Thank you.
It's Vision 3 LLC, doing good for the entire neighborhood. DJs, venue assistants, fit training, life coaches, event planning. It's Vision 3, an information service for our community. To contact us, email us at vision3llc@yahoo.com.
If you need entertainment for a concert, corporate event, or private gathering, contact King's Entertainment Booking Agency, 205-705-4050. If you need a singer, if you need a live band, if you need a DJ, or if you need a host or MC, King's Entertainment Booking Agency has you covered with Lattimore, Wilson Adams, Mose Stovall, Mel Hollywood, Nathaniel Kimball, Certified Slim, T. Saunders, Bill Avery, the legendary Willie Mack, Stephanie Pickett, Taboo, Lady Trucker, MB Radford, and host, MC, and DJ Ed Ramsey. If you need a singer, a band, a DJ, an MC, King's Entertainment Booking Agency with the best entertainment for corporate events, concerts, or private gatherings. King's Entertainment Booking Agents, 205-705-4050. When you want the best entertainment for your corporate event, concert, or private gathering, contact King's Entertainment Booking Agency, 205-705-4050.
Household Remodeling and Ironworks is licensed and bonded. For all your residential and commercial needs, Household Remodeling and Ironworks specialize in wrought iron burglar doors and windows, custom wrought iron estate doors, custom built handrails and gates, lawn service, trailer gates, and heating and air conditioning protected cages for home, businesses, and churches. Call Household Remodeling and Ironworks today at 205-206-9878. That's 205-206-9878 to get your free estimate today. Locally owned and operated. Look for Household Remodeling and Ironworks on Facebook.
Welcome back, everybody. It's your man Mose Stovall to the Mose Stovall Show. And my guest is still hanging out with me, my man Certified Slim. Slim, go ahead, man. We talked about a bunch of things. You've lived a little everywhere, man. Probably so many places you can't recall, but you say you were born and raised in D.C.?
Well, I was born in Indiana, raised in D.C.
Born in Indiana. What part of Indiana?
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Indianapolis, Indiana. So you wasn't far from Chicago and
right there.
Places like
2.5 hours.
Oh man, places Detroit ain't far from there.
That's like 3.5.
The Ohio's. I mean, just the northern boys. So what brought you south, man? I know you do the music thing, but what actually brought you south to stay?
After 2008, we had that big recession.
Right.
And I decided around that time I wanted to move around and just feel the rest of the United States. I didn't want to really stay pinned down to the north. I mean, it was okay. Don't get me wrong, it was all right. But at the end of the day, I was looking for something in the genre to be able to stay busy. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. And I noticed that the northern guys don't stay as busy as the guys in the south.
Oh, no.
They have to migrate down, and it's a big travel to have to do that. Because when you get to winter time, you got this weather thing, you know,
right.
And then travel is so crazy now with not only 9/11 happening, like you just talked about, but COVID, man, you know.
Yep.
Let me ask you a little bit about COVID. How did it affect you in any, man, if any? Did it?
It did. Matter of fact, it affected me musically, to be honest with you. I think early on, before they were calling it COVID, I think I was challenged with that illness myself. Because I'm telling you, it was, you know, like, it was a weird, I caught a weird taste in my throat, and I got so sick for like 3 days. I'm talking about, it was horrible. Right. And I don't usually get sick, so that got me. But I had just dropped that song While You Were With Your Side Piece, and I mean, to be honest with you, it's still a great song.
It is, man. We play it on the radio daily, man.
Absolutely,
you know, it's a heavy rotation, yeah, man.
Appreciate it. I think what happened was because of the scare that it put on everybody and a lot of the lives that were lost, it caused the song to kind of, you know, get pushed to the back. You know what I mean? So a lot of people were still playing it, but nobody interested in coming to a show to see me perform it. And that's part of our thing. When we're artists, like we're artists, so we have to perform after we record that music to promote. You know what I mean? And some of us do it to make a living.
You're right.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of tough. Sometimes, you're faced with a lot of adversity as an artist.
Oh yeah, man.
You know?
Oh yeah, definitely. So COVID did get you sick, but were you ever diagnosed with it, or you just?
No, they wouldn't even call it COVID.
Okay.
I just know
before 2020.
Right, 19.
So now I heard this story from quite a few people that said they had an illness that nobody could really tell them.
Right.
You know
November
what it was.
19.
And then you think COVID is on the back of Lysol cans. So it's been something that's circulated throughout the country and throughout the world for it to be on the can already. And so financially, I know it was a burden because it got me, man. You know, no gigs, no money. And this is how we eat. And so it's a scary thing. But since then, you've been fine since, you know, everything's trying to come back around.
Absolutely.
Were you one of the people that wanted to do the vaccination or not? I mean, it's totally, it's a free will thing, man.
Yeah, it is. I'm thankful that it's free will at this point. Me personally, I'm more into the holistic health.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
leaving the higher, man.
Exactly. And I also trust God. You know what I'm saying? He said, no weapon formed against you should prosper.
Bingo.
You know what I mean?
Bingo.
So at the end of the day, I do stay safe and practice, good, good hygiene when it comes to that kind of stuff. Because you never know, you spray your hands down. Right.
That's something we should be doing every day. I don't understand on the radio we have these papers and we have to read, telling people to wash their hands. I've just always been a part of the good hygiene team. I think that's something we should do. I'm like you. I don't catch many colds. And I definitely believe in God, man, and what He says is real, and His promise. And I think with that, man, we can live on, bro. One thing about the time and your number, when it's called, bro,
that's the only date you ain't gonna be late for.
You ain't gonna miss it.
You ain't gonna be late.
So, man, that's a great thing. So, where's home for you now, man?
Home for me right now is in the South. And I'm gonna stay in the South.
I love it, man. Yeah, the weather's great. People are great, man. What do you think about northern people versus southerners, man? The hospitality.
Man, to be honest with you, man, I have experienced some southern hospitality, but I've also experienced some northern hospitality.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm like that is like this. Most people that live in the north have ancestors or persons who migrated to the north from the south.
Correct.
My grandfather used to joke about it. He used to say, well, we're from down around Morton Gap, Kentucky.
Right.
But we just got tired of getting our tail beat, so we got up out of there.
went on north some more.
Yeah.
That's very understandable, man. Jobs were hard to come by in the South for black folk. A lot of my folk right here from Birmingham, Alabama, migrated to Detroit, Chicago,
Gary, that area,
Ohio.
Steel mills.
They worked at the car manufacturers, the steel mills, and they never came back, man. And their children, actually born and raised up there, never been Southerners.
Right.
Only time they ever come to the South was for family reunions or funerals. And so my life has always been in the South. So that's why I asked you that question, because I know there's a myth about Northerners being, a certain way and Southerners being a certain way. and it's good to ask somebody who's experienced them both.
Yeah.
Do you ever get back to the DC area?
Man, I haven't been back in a few years, but I do want to get there really soon. In fact, we've been talking about taking some trips to just to check out some places. You know, we done been everywhere this past year. You know, but we're talking about getting back up that way too.
Well, I know you dibble and dabble, man, on a lot of stuff, man. How do you find the time to do your music?
Well, majority of my time is spent doing music.
Okay.
Whether I'm in the studio or not, I'm always, circulating ideas for songs, and I take my notepad and on my phone and voice memos and put something in there, or I'll play with. I got even that garage band on my phone, so I'm riding down the street, come up with a beat, just start playing with it. You know what I mean? Right. But how I juggle my regular day is generally I try to get, say for instance, because I have the freedom to do so. I'm a carpenter.
Correct. I know that.
Paint cars and stuff. Where I take, say for instance, do a job for 35, 45 days. I make enough to hold me over for a month, and I can work in the studio. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a good plan, man.
Yeah.
So working for somebody ain't the plan.
That's probably not gonna happen.
Slim ain't doing that.
Nah.
I got that, man. When you got hands and being blessed to use your hands and your mind. See, having a great mind, man, make great mind skill set is what it's all about. And like I said, man, I admire it about you, because every time I see you, man, you're moving and grooving. Last gig I did with you, you actually started pulling out all kind of equipment. You was the sound man, the DJ. You were one of the acts on stage, man. So yeah, it really was, man. And I know you don't. I wouldn't want to put myself behind the 8-ball like that, man. So what I know being in this business make you want to start dealing with sound. So what made you start gathering all this stuff up to actually?
Well, and I'm gonna be honest. We have we've been on a lot of shows
together. A lot.
And we have a lot of times that people don't put the right stuff out there for us to sing through.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So it was originally an idea I brought to my manager, and look, man, we need this equipment so I can move around and make sure I'm covered. Whenever I pull up somewhere, if they ain't got something adequate, I can just go to the trailer and get it, and boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. Now,
it's not designed for outside. Of course, the last show, it struggled.
Right.
But, small little venues, it's perfect. You know what I mean?
Well, you made it happen, man. I could say that, man. Now, the certified, I haven't seen you with many bands. Do you have a band? Or
this was my first year ever doing tracks.
Was it? And every time we're together, though, man, and I know, it's not our fault, because I got 2 bands.
Yeah.
It's not our fault when we show up and do a track show. It's always how the promoters doing this show.
Yeah.
So the many times that we've been together, spent with tracks, that's what made me ask you that, man. So you've been playing with a band for how long?
Oh, man, 13 years old.
13 years old. I mean, I know you say you the drummer.
Yeah, we started recording at 13. Yeah, 13.
And so you know all about the ins and out of a band. How do you feel about the promoters in the game today, man? Since you've been doing this a long time and worked with some big heads.
There's a book called 100 Jobs in the Music Industry.
Right.
And I suggest artists, managers, promoters, get the book.
100 Jobs in the Music Industry.
100 Jobs in the Music Industry.
Okay.
Because a person that's putting on a show technically is not a promoter.
Right.
Okay? There's so much more that's attached to that particular job description.
Yeah, money don't make you promote.
It's almost like saying, I'm a singer, but you don't sing a song.
Right.
You
I get
what I
that.
mean?
Right.
So I think some of them do a good job pulling off shows with money and the experience that they have. But I also think that there's an old saying: if you ever want to hide something from one of us, you put it in the book.
Amen.
You know what I mean? So pick up a book, read. Even the Bible says, "Study to show thyself approved."
100 jobs in the music.
100 jobs in the music business. So this way we can, promoters can do the jobs of promoters, artists can do the jobs of artists, managers can do the jobs of managers, and et cetera, and et cetera.
Right.
Because right now we have I've been watching, and I'm definitely not calling no names.
Correct.
There are a few that don't really pay attention to their responsibilities. They're kind of like focused on everything else, but not focused on what they really should be focused on.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I asked that question, man, because that's something I wanted to know for the people. Man, time flies, man. I'm definitely going to have you back, Slim, and I appreciate you being here.
Right.
But before we go, man, give the people some encouragement. Tell some of these younger cats that, that's musicians, that's writers, that's singers, that has aspiration for doing this, man. Give them a little encouragement before we go, man.
All right, man. If you're into this music game, or matter of fact, if you're into anything, you know what I mean? If you, number one, put God first. In everything you do. You know what I mean? try your best to keep your nose clean and encourage one another to do things that are productive.
Right.
Because if you sow a seed of positivity into the next man, then he can reap, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
A seed to the next.
Yes,
so,
sir.
in other one, to reach one, teach one.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I mean?
Yes,
and
sir.
find one to make them better. Be careful if you can't be good, and remember, God loves you and I do too.
That's my man, Certified Slim, y'all, right here on the Mose Stovall Show. Sit tight. I'll be right back after these words from our sponsors.
Alright.
It's Vision 3 LLC, doing good for the entire neighborhood. DJs, venue assistants, fit training, life coaches, event planning. It's Vision 3, an information service for our community. To contact us, email us at vision3llc@yahoo.com.
Household Remodeling and Ironworks is licensed and bonded. For all your residential and commercial needs, Household Remodeling and Ironworks specialize in wrought iron burglar doors and windows, custom wrought iron estate doors, custom built handrails and gates, lawn service, trailer gates, and heating and air conditioning protective cages for home, businesses, and churches. Call Household Remodeling and Ironworks today at 205-206-9878. That's 205-206-9878 to get your free estimate today. Locally owned and operated. Look for Household Remodeling and Ironworks on Facebook.
Well, that concludes another edition of the Mose Stovall Show, and I hope you really enjoyed the content. What a great interview. I'm getting ready to get out of here and end my parting. Once a task has just begun, never leave it until it's done. Be the labor great or small. Do it well or not at all. I want to thank you again for tuning in to the Mose Stovall Show. I want to thank King Johnny. I want to thank Connie Bradford. Until next week, you guys be good. Bye.